Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a serious problem facing the United States. Obviously, what I'm going to be talking about has affected the safety and well-being of hundreds of Americans every year and resulted in countless deaths. This terrifying scourge on the public should not be taken lightly, and its effects have torn apart families and has led to an overwhelming number of innocent civilians being slaughtered all over this great nation. Of course, I'm talking about the reptilians. But I know you guys, but this is mainly a comedy show, and I didn't want to talk about the Paris attacks because making a video about such an incredible tragedy so soon after it happened would have been nothing more than shamelessly cashing in on the misfortune of the people who suffered. And even though I am an evil supervillain, I didn't want to be a freaking asshole. Come on, guys, let's just talk about some crazy conspiracy theory. I'll blow things out of proportion and we'll all have a good laugh and everyone can just go on with their day. Alright, fine. Today we're going to be talking about the overwhelming number of mass shootings that have been taking place in the United States recently. At the time of recording this video on December 2nd, 2015, there is very little known about the identities of the shooters in San Bernardino, and their motivations thus far are unclear. What is known is that at least 14 people were killed and several more were injured. I do not wish to speculate on any of the reasons why this happened, but all that I can say is this is an overwhelming tragedy, and it brings me to tears thinking about the lives that were lost and the incredible hardship that these victims had to endure. It is not my intention to make light of this catastrophe, and anything that could have been said about this incident has been vocalized by a lot smarter people than I. All I can say is that my condolences go out to the families, and I hope for a speedy recovery of all those who were injured in this brutal and disgusting attack. But unfortunately, this is not the only mass shooting that had happened in the last few weeks. As many of you may know, there has also been another domestic terror attack on a medical facility known as Planned Parenthood in Colorado Springs, orchestrated by a religiously motivated gunman, injuring 9 people and killing 3 others. This gruesome attack is a direct result of the brutal and disgusting antics of the pro-life movement and the abhorrent beliefs of its repugnant and monstrous followers. These attacks are nothing short of terrorism, and referring to them as anything less is dishonest and utterly hideous. The atrocities committed by these fundamentalist pigs on medical centers and abortion clinics since the 1970s has resulted in hundreds of deaths, thousands of injuries, and millions of dollars in property damage. These sinister acts have been committed by way of firebombings, anthrax, primitive explosives, machetes, knives, and of course, firearms. It is time that we see this extremist pro-life movement for what it really is, nothing more than terrorists and sympathizers of terrorism. It is sickening that we continuously allow these monsters to get away with calling themselves pro-life, when so much death has occurred on behalf of their revolting extremist rhetoric. Of course, it goes without saying that everyone who is anti-abortion is not a crazed lunatic bent on destroying the lives and families of innocent civilians. But the narrative being portrayed by this death cult of fundamentalist and extremist Christianity is one of nothing more than fear and terror. And we should be disgusted and appalled at the hideous nature of this atrocious movement.